What's up guys, Phoenix here. This video is going to be another Yu-Gi-Oh card discussion type video, kind of slash card review I guess, but basically it is going to be on a new counter trap that we have gotten in Dimension of Chaos, or DOCS as people call it, including myself, and that is going to be on Granhorn of Heaven, or as I affectionately refer to it as, the Pimp Cup. Now, specifically in the last week and a half area, I've been getting a lot of messages from people asking me what I think of this card and if I think it's going to be overly useful. And the long and short of it is essentially yes and no. I believe this card is going to be ultimately very useful. I just don't think it is in its prime currently. Now, I think the card is very good. It's very fair while also being unfair in the essence of what it specifically does. For those of you that don't know what this card does, the main reason why I'm making this video is specifically for the people that do not know what this card does, but I'm certain that most of you do. But anyway, its card text is, during your opponent's main phase, when they would special summon a monster or monsters, negate that summon, and if you do, destroy that monster. Then your opponent draws one card, then end the main phase. So, it's a counter trap as well, so it can't be responded to except with other counter traps. So what this does is your opponent tries to perform any inherent summon, so Pendulum Summon, Xyz Summon, Synchro Summon, summon a Cyber Dragon or a BLS, anything like that. And this can negate the summon of all of the monsters that they were attempting to summon at that one instance. So if they try to Pendulum Summon 4 to 5 monsters, this hits all 4 to 5 monsters, and they will get sent to the graveyard because the Pendulum Summon was negated. If they try to Synchro, if they try to Xyz Summon, what have you, you can negate that monster, destroy it. And then it immediately moves the game into the next phase. So if they were in main phase 1, it's now battle phase. If they were in main phase 2, their turn is now over. They are now entering end phase, and they cannot do anything about that, which makes the card really cool. And the fact that it allows them to draw a card is kind of a drawback on you, because this card is almost always going to be a -1 if you're only hitting one card, but the fact that it changes phases kind of makes up for that. So this card is really cool in that aspect of how it's not really a plus to you unless you're hitting just a slew of Pendulum summoned monsters, but ideally that's where you're going to be wanting to use this card. But regardless, if you just hit like one monster, one Synchro, one Xyz, whatever, it's just going to be a straight -1 for you, because you're going to 1-for-1 with the monster they summoned, and then they're going to draw a card to replace the card they just lost. But then they have to end their phase, which can be either good or bad. Now, it says during the main phase, so you can activate this during main phase 1 or main phase 2, and that is something that you need to be aware of. A lot of people are under the misconception that this card can only be activated during main phase 1, but that is false. It just says during the main phase. Main phase 2 is still the main phase. It is just the second one. So, there is that to consider. But I don't think that this card is going to be too great right now, straight out of the gate. I think this card is going to be very influential in the post-Breaker of Shadows format, or Bosch format. Because, one, you have the Fairy Pendulum bitch in the Pepe deck, or Perform Agent Pals, as it's usually called, that gets to search counter traps, and this is another counter trap that can be searched. Although it's not the best when you compare it to Solemn Warning or Solemn Notice, it is still a very solid card in terms of dealing with a pendulum-heavy metagame. But as of right now, we're in a current slew of a format for about the next month and a half area, where we have to deal with the potential of Cosmos, we have to deal with decks like Yang Zing, other rogue decks that are able to be played, that people are probably going to try to play right now before Bosch format starts and everything just kind of goes to hell. And in that period of time, this card, I don't see it being that influential. So if you want to get these cards, they're commons. I don't know if they're short print or not. I certainly got a lot of them. I opened 2 sneak peek kits, I guess it's a kit, but 5 packs, 10 packs total of sneak peek packs. I entered myself and entered another person just to get me the packs, and I pulled a full playset of these. So, but I've heard other people that have gotten like 3 and 4 sets of sneak peek packs and only pulled one of these. So I mean, it could be a short print common, but I'm not sure. But it's easy enough to get them because they are common. And I would definitely suggest like getting some of these and just holding on to them, not for any monetary value, but just in case they become hard to find as we get closer to Bosch format, because that's where I believe this card will really shine. Now, I really do like this card. I think it's very well designed. It's extremely well designed, considering that it sort of gives your opponent back a bit of what they just lost because it was a free negation of their summon, but then forces them into the next phase, which also benefits you as the player activating this card. So it has its pros and cons all around the board, and it's definitely not the best counter trap in terms of what you could have with like Solemn Warning, Solemn Notice, other things like that. But with the recent Blackhorn errata that is going to be, in fact, I think it is 100% like in effect now because Astral Pack 8 is out. So this kind of replaces Blackhorn's functionality because this can negate multiple summons, whereas Blackhorn used to, but it got re-errated in Astral Pack 8 to make it very clear that it only stops one monster, just like Thunder King only stops one monster. But anyway, I want to know what you guys think about this card in the comments down below. I really like this card, but for those of you that are asking me if they should be playing this card, I don't think you should be playing it yet. Definitely, like once the Master of Pendulum structure deck comes out, maybe we can start considering playing it a bit more because Pendulum decks may be a bit more prominent then. But then, as soon as Bosch format comes around, I think we're just going to be completely overrun with meta decks being Pendulum based all around the board, and thus this card becomes amazing in that aspect because you negate their Pendulum summon, they don't get any value out of the Pendulum monsters because they go to the graveyard, then they draw a card, and then it goes to the next phase. So they're either going to be in battle phase or in end phase, thus meaning they're not killing you either way. So there's that to consider. But anyway, that's pretty much it for what I wanted to discuss about this card. It's very generic, and I do just really like it, and people wanted to know my opinion on this card, and I haven't given it yet, so I figured I might as well. But anyway, as always, guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that nonsense. Like the video if you want to support my content and channel's growth now as well as in the future. Links in the description to both my Facebook pages if you want to chat with me, connect with me, whatever. Definitely check those out. Click an ad if you have not. I'd greatly appreciate it. It helps me make money, and there's no reason to lie to you guys about that. If you have an ad block enabled, just do me a quick favor. Take a couple seconds out of your day, disable your ad block, refresh the video, click an ad or two, however many you want to do, then put the ad block back on when you're done. It takes seconds out of your day, it takes no money out of your pocket, and it helps me out more than you could ever know, and you would have my gratitude. I would be incredibly appreciative to you if you could do that. But if you decide you don't want to, I can't force you, so you're basically just going to do it if you want to or not. But anyway, that's it for this video. And like I said, I want to know what you guys think about this card in the comments down below as well. If there's anything I may have missed discussion point wise, definitely leave them down there for anyone else that reads comments and does that. I definitely read comments, so I definitely would like to know if there's anything that I missed and possibly didn't know. But anyway, as always, guys, take care.